Hi guys, it's Danielle and today I'm going to be doing the no disclaimers book tag. I wasn't tagged to do this because I am only a small little YouTube bean, but I have seen it around and I thought I would give it a go because why not? And no disclaimers, so we're just gonna jump straight in. Wow, that was really Aussie of me, wasn't it? We're just going to jump straight into the video. Question number 1 is, which trope or tropes in books annoy you the most? A lot of the overused tropes and tropes that people tend to not like, I find that if they're done well, then they're not that bad. Like love triangles, chosen one, insta love. Yeah, they can be done really poorly, but sometimes you'll just get one book with that trope and it'll just work so well. A perfect example I have for this is the love triangle in the Infernal Devices. I mean, like, that was literally done so well. But anyway, the one that like probably annoys me the most, when the main character has just discovered that they've got these powers and they obviously don't know how to use them yet. And then either they don't learn how to use them but just know automatically how to use them, which is just a bit unrealistic, or try to learn how to use their powers and they really struggle until a life or death situation where they just know instantly how to use their powers and it all just comes to them and they're shooting fireballs and casting spells and throwing snow and whatever at people. That annoys the crap out of me. I just make it a bit more realistic. Like obviously like having magical powers is not realistic because we don't have powers, unfortunately, but just make it seem more realistic. Like it's just the perks of filming on your phone is when you get a phone call it stops the video. So awesome. So question number 2 is, what writers do you feel are overrated or overhyped? I have a few for this one, and I will probably get a little bit of hate for, but the first writer that I think is really overhyped is Sarah J Maas. I've read the first 2 books in the Court of Thorns and Roses series, trilogy, whatever it is now, and I enjoyed them, but I didn't love them. Like, I definitely don't think they're worth the amount of hype that they get, and I just don't get a lot of the hype for it. And I just didn't even bother with the Throne of Glass series. It just sounds like a hot mess to me and I just have no interest in reading it, and I just don't really care about her books or her worlds. Her writing to me wasn't like absolutely amazing or anything, so I don't really understand it. Another writer that I think is definitely overhyped is John Green. I will admit that back in the day I loved The Fault in Our Stars and Looking for Alaska, but I think if I read them now I definitely wouldn't enjoy them as much as I did back then. There's just so many other books now that are just so much better than that. And the last one is Maggie Stiefvater. I just don't get it. I'm sorry. I have read The Raven Cycle. I haven't read any of her other books, but the writing for me was just super vague and I just really didn't like it. It kept kind of like skirting around what was happening and it just annoyed the crap out of me, and I just didn't enjoy the writing. I felt like it was just too flowery. I felt like it was kind of trying too hard. Question number 3 is, what are your least favorite books you've read since joining BookTube? And I've only been on YouTube for about a month. So my reading in the last month has definitely like suffered a little bit. I've just been really busy and I just haven't been reading as much as I would have liked. So I haven't really read a whole lot of books since starting this channel. But the worst one that I have read in the last month was Jar of Hearts by Jennifer Hillier. Basically it was just not what I expected when I went into it, and it was very predictable and I just really didn't enjoy the writing. Just kind of everything in this book kind of just rubbed me the wrong way. I just couldn't enjoy it. It was just not a great book, unfortunately. Question number 4 is a terrible ending that ruined an otherwise quality book. And for that one, it's more it ruined the entire series. And whenever I think of a horrible ending, or whenever I'm asked about a book with a horrible ending, this book without a doubt always comes to mind. Honestly, it is the worst ending to a book that I have ever read in my life. I legitimately thought that my copy of this book was faulty and that I was missing like the last 100 pages of the book. That's how bad the ending was. And the book is Requiem by Lauren Oliver, which is the last book in the Delirium trilogy. I've definitely mentioned it before that I just really dislike open endings, and this book has the worst open ending, like literally in history. Like the book literally finishes in the middle of all of this action and drama and just shit going down like all around the main character, and it just ends, and that is it. And I seriously, like, I'm not even lying when I say that I literally thought that I was missing 100 pages of the book. Like, I finished it and I was like, what the fuck? Surely not. Like, surely that's not how the book ends. But it was. And I was so mad. Personally, I think that open endings, especially open endings like this one, is just kind of lazy writing. Give me a proper goddamn ending. I don't care who the main character ends up with. I don't care if everybody dies. Just give me a proper damn ending, please. Question number 5 is, which fictional character or characters do you wish were not killed off? Now, I don't want to spoil, so I will mention the books, but I won't mention the characters. Okay? Okay. The first book is Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. And if you've read this book, you will 100% know what I'm talking about. I mean, was it necessary? No. They didn't have to die. They didn't. The next one is Before the Devil Breaks You, which is the third book in the Diviners series. Like, I kind of expected there to be some deaths because this series has a multiple perspectives, and so there's so many different characters, and so I just kind of was expecting someone to die, but just not this character. It was just... it really hurt, and I'm really upset about it. And the last one that I'm going to mention is the character that dies in Mockingjay, which is obviously the last book in the Hunger Games trilogy. I mean, there's a couple of characters that die in this one, but there's one character that I'm talking about more so than the other. And I think everyone feels the same if you've read this. Like, why did they have to die? This character was just pure and wonderful and did not deserve to die. Why, Suzanne? Why? Question number 6 is, what are your bookish pet peeves? Now, most of my bookish pet peeves actually have to do with book covers. I don't care if you dog ear your pages instead of using bookmarks. I used to do it. Doesn't bother me. I don't care if you break the spine on your book. Like, honestly, sometimes you need to do it. And what does really get on my nerves is, firstly, ugly book covers or books that deserve better covers. And perfect example right here. Why? I mean, honestly, Rochelle Mead has been done so dirty with book covers. Like, these are both hideous and just why? Also, a shout out to like new adult and romance novels. Like, why do you have to have two people almost having sex on the cover? Like, you don't need to put that on the cover to tell me that it's a romance. There's other ways that you can tell me that it's a romance book. The other thing that really annoys me about book covers is when publishers decide to change the covers of books mid-series. And the perfect example of this is The Diviners. This is the original cover, which is my favorite cover of them all. Like, I don't know why they changed it in the first place. And then this one come out, and then the third book come out and it's different again. I don't understand. I don't. Why would you change it not once, but twice? Especially when the original looks like this. Why? Why did you have to change them? Why? Question number 7 is, what books do you feel should have more recognition? Now, there's like my go-to books that I try and recommend that I say are underrated, like The Bone Season. But I thought instead I'll talk about books that I don't usually talk about when I'm recommending underrated, underhyped books. So the first one is Angel Fall by Suzanne E. I know Angels in YA has been well overdone and a lot of people are kind of over the whole angel phase now, but this series was awesome. Basically, these angels are actually like kind of evil and they come to Earth and they start the apocalypse. And so we follow the main character whose sister has just been taken by the angels, and to get her sister back, she teams up with an angel. It was just a lot of fun and I definitely recommend checking them out because they were so damn good. And the last two that I want to recommend are both contemporaries, and I feel like I haven't really recommended a lot of contemporaries on my channel yet. The first one is Everything Leads to You by Danielleeecox. This one was so damn fun and fluffy and cute. Like, it just makes me happy just thinking about it. Romance isn't like the main focus of this book either. Like, it focuses on friendship and a bit of adventure. The romance is also a female-female romance, and it was just so much fun. And the last one that I want to recommend is A Quiet Kind of Thunder by Sarah Bernard. This again is such a cute, fun, fluffy, contemporary romance. It was beautiful. It follows a girl who has selective mutism and a boy who is deaf, and it's all about their relationship. I highly recommend. It's such a beautiful, adorable, fun story. And question number 8. What are your thoughts on censorship and banning books? I think banning books is just ridiculous. I personally think that the individual or the reader should be in charge of what they can and can't read and what they want to read and what they don't want to read. What I do think we should do instead of completely banning books is have trigger and content warnings at the beginning of books. Like, it shouldn't be that hard to put a small little note at the start of the book that's saying that this book could be potentially harmful for people who suffer from anxiety or have self-harmed, or this book features sexual abuse or whatever it might be. Instead of completely banning the book, I feel like that way the reader themselves can decide whether or not the book is right for them and whether or not they actually will be comfortable in reading this book or step away from the book because it may actually harm them. I think that kind of covers everything I wanted to say there. Hopefully I made sense. And the last question is, who do you tag? And I'm going to tag Beck from Beck's Books. I'm also going to tag Lily from Lily C Reads, Chammy from Is That Chammy, and Piera from Piera Ford. And that is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to see more videos like this. Leave a comment down below letting me know some of your answers to these questions. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!